It took 11 hours to get outside the boundaries of the city suburbs where I'm from and my living room. And now I'm in the boundary waters, about to tribulate for no reason, as a lot of people would say. But what is the reason? It better be big, because once you make the decision to step outside of your comfortable boundaries, things get hard and there's no going backwards. So I am in the Boundary Waters canoe area in Minnesota, and I started at Fall Lake, Access 24. My heart is set on getting to Curtain Falls and back in a week. Camper Christina always says that you should know how many miles per hour you can paddle, but I don't know that yet. So I am gonna have to figure that out on this trip. Past experience tells me I'm usually not very fast. I've never even completed a full loop before, but I have made a pretty big change. So that brings me to another point, and that is that I got a new canoe. Since I just literally bought this canoe this morning, I've never paddled it before, and I just want to see how far I can get tonight. I'd really like to make it to Jackfish Bay, but if I can make it at least to Pipestone, I'll still be happy. There are plenty of campsites along the way, so if I don't make it that far, I won't be SOL. After this portage, I'll be in Pipestone Bay, so really I could just start looking for a campsite. Well, figured out that my yoke doesn't actually fit this new canoe, so I will be carrying the canoe on my head for the rest of the trip. But I've got to find somewhere to camp because it is getting dark really, really fast. I can't tell if that's a campsite right there, but I really hope it is. Every campsite I've passed so far has been taken. Okay, so this is not an official campsite, at least I don't believe so. And you're really not supposed to do that here. I honestly don't really have any other options. I am gonna have anxiety about this all night, but I mean, what else am I gonna do? Paddle around at night until I find something? Still don't even know if I will. I suppose this is where I'll put my tent. I mean, it literally seems like a campsite was here at some point. Like, that was a fire pit before. Okay, so it took me a ridiculous amount of time to set up this stick stove. I think because it's warped, the titanium, that thing just will not go together, but I don't want to have like a full real fire because I'm not supposed to be here. I'm having steak for dinner, and it's not exactly what I planned because a lot of the food I tried to bring with me got wet in the cooler on the way up. So I don't have any veggies and I'm almost out of cheese. I'm gonna add some of the steak seasoning to the potatoes. The rest of my meals for the rest of the trip are gonna be dehydrated though. Just got my bed and everything all set up. It's like a 11:30ish already. I gotta get out of here really early so that I don't get caught at this campsite. Anyhow, I will see you in the morning. I'm pretty much all packed up this morning because I wanted to get an early start, earlier of a start than I'm actually getting. It's like, I think a little bit after 8 right now. I did at least get my tent and everything down. But for now, I'm just making some coffee real quick. I'm not gonna cook a full breakfast because I have to get going. Since it's almost fall, like in the next couple of days, or I think tomorrow is actually the first day of fall. I'm doing my pumpkin spice creamer again. So yesterday I started at Access 24 on Fall Lake. I then did a portage into Newton and then another portage into Pipestone Bay, which is where I'm currently camping illegally. I can either paddle northwest and do a portage into Basswood, or I could go around and paddle, which it's about a 6-mile paddle to get there, and then I would be able to skip the portage. I did read a trip report that when water levels are low, that portage can be a hot mess, like full of really deep mud and really hard to get through. When the water levels are high, it's really easy, but I'd be chancing it. So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna go ahead and do the paddle, even though it will take me longer. One thing I'm not gonna do again is push it until the sun is setting. Today should be where I really truly figure out how many miles per hour I can paddle now in my new canoe. So, don't know if you can tell, but it's definitely looking like it's gonna rain or something here soon. So I was just thinking about reconsidering my plan and taking that portage because I'm passing it right now, but I'm just gonna stick with the plan. Just go around Pipestone and into Jackfish, and hopefully it just doesn't take me too long to do that, and hopefully the weather stays reasonable. So there's a campsite right there up ahead, and I'm gonna stop really quick just because I want to get out a couple of snacks, and I gotta change my GoPro battery. Looks like a really nice site, and that really sucks. Yeah, so this is definitely a super nice site. If I had just night paddled for like an hour and a half, could have camped here last night. Well, I'm just gonna tell myself that this site is meant for a group of 12. So that's why I didn't camp here. All right, so before I get back on the water, let's just check the weather on my Inreach just to make sure I'm not forced to stay here. Okay, so it appears that there are going to be some thunderstorms, but not until around 5. So, such a tough call because this is not always accurate, and a lot of times storms start sooner than what the Garmin Inreach weather forecast says. So, but I really need to get further along than this, so it's just tough, but I think I'm gonna keep going. I just checked the forecast again, and it's supposed to storm starting at 2, and it's about noon right now. I need to find a campsite. I had a feeling this was going to happen. There should be one right there on that island. All right, I'm not even really sure if this is right. The map showed the campsite on the other side of the island, but there wasn't one on that side. Really hoping for an actual campsite. Okay, let's see. Oh, I see something. Okay, thank goodness. It is a campsite. Yes, okay. Oh, someone must have left that to make it easier to find. I'll put this back when I'm done here, but while I'm here, we don't need it. Okay, I got the tarp up, but there was wind. I wouldn't be able to do that. Have it up high like that. So it just started pouring, and I got the tarp and everything set up just in time, and literally made a mad dash to get some sticks for the stick stove. I'm just glad I'm not out there on the water right now, because it's raining really hard. Definitely an earlier day than I intended, but you literally can't predict the weather. I just heard like a massive thunder. There is a cloud of rain coming my way, it looks like. A crazy wind came with that rain wall that just hit, and it literally almost blew my tarp away. So I had to ditch the tarp gazebo and then secure it with these rocks. So it's about 2:45 now, and it totally stopped raining, and the sun actually even has come out. Makes me wonder if I should have kept going. But after last night and having to camp at a not campsite, I just don't want to put myself in that situation again. So making calls and trying to decide if they're the right ones. I got the tiniest bass ever. He came off the hook. But I'm gonna get him back in the water. Whoa! She and I both almost fell in. I was trying to hurry up and get him in, and these rocks are slippery. So I'm getting dinner started. So this is going to be a Cajun chicken pasta that I dehydrated before I came out here. Okay, so the Cajun chicken pasta is all done. So right now I'm at this little island here on Jackfish Bay. I plan to paddle southwest on Jackfish Bay, up that little stream there into Sand Pit, and then Tin Can Mike Lake, and then into Horse Lake. And hopefully, don't know if I'm gonna have time for this. Just got even foggier. It is so foggy right now. But don't know if I'm gonna have time for this, but I really would like to make it up the Horse River and to lower Basswood Falls tonight. I'm not super optimistic that that's gonna be possible, but we'll see. Okay, let's see how far I make it today, and then I'll figure out the rest. Visibility is super low right now. Looks like I'm paddling into nothing. I'm coming up to a creek here, which is what is going to take me into Sand Pit Lake, and it's really hard to tell on the map if there is a spot where I'm going to have to portage here, if I can just paddle all the way through. Really hoping I can just paddle all the way through, but the creek looks pretty small, so, or narrow anyway. Going through here does make me a little bit nervous just because I can't see what's coming like I can on the open lake, but I mean, it is beautiful. I hear some fast-moving water, so I think there may be like a lift over. All right, let's go check this out and see what the situation is here. Okay, so it's not that way. Definitely a portage, but at least I know what to do. So, all right, let's go get my stuff and canoe. It's a really pretty little spot. And I didn't eat breakfast, so I figured I might as well stop and have some snacks before I continue. I still have 2 more portages to do before I get to Horse Lake at least, which I'm thinking that'll probably be my stop for the night. It's about 12 o'clock right now. Definitely feels like fall. For brunch, I'm having beef jerky and peanut butter stuffed dates, which looks a little bit crazy right now because they got all smushed, but really good little power snack and not something I have to worry about going bad out here like some of my other food has already. Looks like I'm coming up to a beaver dam that I'll have to lift over. Oh, damn. Okay, looks like I'm gonna have to get out. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. Hopefully Christina will be proud. Holy mother of beaver dams. Thank goodness. Oh my gosh, what a save. Alright, so this now is Sandpit Lake, and it should be pretty quick before I get to another portage, and that'll take me to Tin Can Mike. And this is Tin Can Mike Lake. So I figured there had to be a story behind the name, like Tin Can Mike Lake, so I looked into it and there is. Apparently, a long time ago in early history, there was a man that walked around with a tin can as a cup, and his name was Mike. This will be my last portage of the day. Okay, I made it to Horse Lake, which is the lake that I'm camping at, so now I just gotta find a campsite. Okay, so I'm thinking that that is camp up ahead. I don't know, but I think this has the best view. The view from in here is literally so beautiful. I have not eaten a proper meal today. I've just been snacking, so I'm starving, and I'm gonna go ahead and get this fire going here in this fire pit and cook something to eat. I've got a whole bunch of different options for dehydrated meals, and I've kind of got decision paralysis right now. I cannot decide what I want to make tonight. All I know is I am super excited to cook on a fire pit tonight. Alright, so I just pushed pause on cooking to watch the sunset, but it's time to figure out what I'm gonna go ahead and make to eat. I think I'm going with beef soba noodle. The beef soba noodle is rehydrated. Now I just need to add the sauce. I added the sauce that I pretty much use for a lot of different dishes. It is the mirin soy sauce, rice wine vinegar with ginger and garlic. Definitely one of my favorites. For dessert, I'm gonna attempt these cinnamon rolls on a stick. I mixed together a bunch of dry ingredients before I came out here, and then I just put some melted butter and water in the bag and kneaded it for a bit, and now I'm gonna just put it next to the fire. Alright, I just put it on the fire stick because I accidentally didn't look for a stick and now it's too dark for me to find one. This may not look like I intended it to because of its issue with the stick size, but I also made some cream cheese icing with powdered cream cheese. Okay, so the on a stick situation was not working. They just aren't on a stick like I originally intended. And they aren't really cinnamon rolls either. They're not really rolled. So I finished eating and cleaning up, and I just got in my tent to get ready for bed. It's like 11:30 already. I don't even know how time flew by so quickly, but I basically put the tarp over the tent in the weirdest looking way possible because there's 0 trees around here. And yeah, hopefully I get a good night's sleep. So it's about 7 o'clock and I woke up to this beautiful view. So it's grits and bacon for breakfast. And coffee, of course. It's about 8:30, 9 o'clock right now, but it's still pretty misty. I'm gonna finish eating, get packed up. My goal is to be out of here by 11. Got ready to start packing, and I think I'm gonna revise my plan. It's already so late that I think I'm gonna go ahead and just take a rest day today. One more day, I'm not mad at that. So I just took a nap for a couple hours. I think it's like 12:30 now. But I woke up and it is extra bright outside and it's really warm. So I think I'm gonna go for a swim. It'll be nice. I'm sure it'll feel good to get in this water. It's colder than I realized. It feels good, but colder than I realized. Whew. Oh, it takes a second to get used to that. So I am out here trying my luck at fishing now, and I'm not having much of it. Not much luck anyway. I've tried two separate lures that I have not used before. One is this little Aglia spinner thingy-majig that lots of people said that I should try. It's number 4. No luck with that, and now I'm using I have one of those fake fish looking baits, like the minnow things that with the plastic piece to make it go kind of deep. I've got a few other things to try, or maybe I should try a different spot. I think I'll do that. I think I'll try a different spot. So I still don't know the J stroke, but I can at least paddle my canoe straight on one, or from one side of the canoe. I do wonder if I'm doing the rudder or something, or if I've just made it my own thing. Probably that. Well, I'm heading back. The fish aren't biting literally at all, and I'm starting to get pretty hungry. I'm making spaghetti tonight. Well, penne with spaghetti sauce, because it's just easier to dehydrate penne noodles than spaghetti noodles, but just seemed like some spaghetti with bread would be really good. Just plain bread this time, but we're not doing it on a stick again, because that was a disaster last night. Alright, it's already starting to rise. I can feel it. I put some parchment paper down just to help myself out. Put this bag over it so that it doesn't dry out. And let that sit in the sun. Okay, so the pasta is all done. I had a tiny bit of Parmesan left over, so I sprinkled that in there. And it's a perfect little loaf of bread. Now I took one from the Outdoor Boys and put some honey butter on. Really good. I'm still thinking about that bread, so I'm gonna eat some more. I really hate to leave this campsite, but I've got to finish the loop. So today I am heading out and finally going to go ahead and paddle up the Horse River. That will get me to Basswood Falls. Okay, so I'm already a little bit confused because I think this is the way I'm supposed to go. There's definitely no portage on the map, but it looks like even if water levels were higher, I don't still see how anyone would get through these rocks right here. Oh, so there's a little stream. Ooh, man, the canoe. There we go. Ooh, this one's a little shallow. Shoot. Okay, this one I'm gonna have to get out for. This poor canoe is getting beat up. Okay, this is for sure a lift over. Okay, this is where I get stuck. Okay, unstuck. I hope that the whole way gets a little bit easier. There we go. Never been so happy to see a portage. I'm betting I'll have to get out right here. Ooh, I would have lost that bet. Or I did lose that bet. Whoever was betting against me. Okay, so next portage. Almost didn't see this one except for that cut log right there. Okay, so I just made it through that last portage and now I just have a paddle. I think probably 30 minutes-ish. Made it to the end of the Horse River and I'm so happy to be on the lake again. Honestly, that section was the part of the trip that I was most excited about, but also most anxious about. And that's just because, well, one, I don't do a lot of river travel. When you're doing river travel and there's a current, it's really hard to go back the other way. And it's absolutely possible on that river that I was just on, but it would have been really challenging. So if I had gotten to a point where I couldn't go any further because of low water levels, mud, or whatever, yeah, I would have been in a tough spot. So anyways, just happy to be here. Now I'm close to Basswood Falls, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and see what campsites there are over here. Okay, so I've got one more portage actually to get to my campsite, but it is the most beautiful portage I've ever seen in my entire life. So this is the campsite here. I don't think it gets literally any better than this. Just taking a quick break and taking it all in because it's been a really long day. But this ending, this campsite, I'm beyond grateful. So for dinner tonight, I am having a chicken Thai curry. Yeah, so the food's rehydrating behind me, and I'm kind of just ready to relax. There are two ingredients I'm gonna add, and that is the green curry and then coconut milk powder. Alright, so I am in the tent now. I basically had to rush and eat my dinner because the camp mice are just crazy at this site. There's just like a whole bunch of them and they were not afraid at all. I'm about to get all my bedding and everything ready and then I'm gonna go to sleep, which I am really looking forward to. It's way too windy to travel today, and I've come to the realization that I am going to have to change my route. So here's the situation. I am here at Basswood Falls. What I'm thinking as far as this trip and the loop that I'm going to go ahead and complete, I'm going to go
through the Basswood River and then back around Basswood Lake, down through Jackfish again and Pipestone, and out the way that I came. The whole point of this trip was to figure out, you know, what my baseline is, what I can do, and how far I can go. And while it's not exactly what I was thinking it was before the trip, at least now I know where I'm starting. As far as today goes, I do want to do some exploring around Crooked Lake, because I'm at Basswood Falls, but I'm on Crooked Lake. And actually the other side, the shore over there, is Canada.
Decided it is pretty windy, but I'm at least gonna get out into this little bay here and do some fishing. So this is another campsite here at Basswood Falls. I'm about to check it out just to see what I missed out on. Okay, so this is a campsite I did not take. Boy, this wind. Absolutely gorgeous view as well. Then there's this little trail that I think takes you, yep. I don't know if I got that on camera. I tried to go really quick, but I saw a mink. Alright, that's it for my excursion. This wind is crazy. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna fish from shore. So I got another smallmouth, good eater size, so go perfect with what I've planned for dinner tonight. Okay, so first thing is to rehydrate. I got some chicken, andouille sausage, green peppers, onions, mushrooms, red peppers, garlic, and celery. I actually got a couple of whole fillets this time. So I'll actually have fish fillet and not shrimp popcorn or fish nuggets or whatever. So Cajun fried smallmouth bass and chicken and sausage jambalaya soup and rice. All right, first let's try the fish. So good, literally. It's hard to eat fish at the store after you have it freshly caught because it's so much less fishy. I mean, there's just a big difference. Best meal yet. So I'm in my tent early for two reasons. One, I wanted to get done with dinner and get in bed before the camp mice came out because that was just gross last night. And then two, I have another long day tomorrow. The route that I'm taking, I think we'll see if I have to do it. I pray I don't have to do it, but I'm pretty sure I do. But I think that there's a portage that's a little over a mile, and I've never done a portage that long before. Plus, I don't know that I can do that long of a portage with no yoke. I've been doing all the portages so far without a yoke, but I think I'm gonna try to figure that out. So anyway, I'm gonna go to bed because I have to get up early and get out of here early. So I'll see you in the morning.
Up really early, but the fog is pretty thick again this morning.
So I just made it to the end of the first portage. I'm in Canada actually, but I'm feeling pretty low energy just because I didn't eat breakfast or have coffee this morning. So I think I'm just gonna stay put for a second, make coffee and breakfast right here, and then get moving. Plus, I got here and the fog, I thought that by the time I got to the portage, did the portage, that hopefully most of the fog would be cleared. And getting to the portage, I wasn't as worried because I had already paddled that way, so I knew what to expect. But from here on out, I have not paddled in this direction, so I'm going in blind, literally. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make some breakfast coffee right here, and then hopefully by the time I'm done, the fog will be cleared at least enough to where I can see or have some level of visibility, and hopefully I'll have a little bit more energy as well.
Something bit me. Got it on my hand too, but I put some antibiotic ointment on there and cleaned it with some alcohol wipes, so hopefully nothing too crazy becomes of it.
Okay, I'm finally on the water, and it's now 11 o'clock. But that's okay. I feel so much better now. and so stopping and having that breakfast was definitely worth it. This area here is called Wheelbarrow Falls. So I'm just looking for a portage. There should be a portage coming up here. Okay, second portage of the day down, and now I am on to the next. I've got this next one, I believe, the third portage, and then after that is the big one. Back on the water again, and next thing is my really long portage, so almost there. Here we are. Last portage took me 40 minutes, so I can only imagine how long this is going to take me. So I'm just made it to Basswood Falls, but I actually saw 2 bears on that portage on the trail. Boy, it's one of those things that you think, I mean, you know will happen eventually. It's just when it does, it's so scary. But first I heard something really big run through the woods as I was approaching, and it sounded like hooves. So I thought maybe it was a deer or a moose or something. Few moments later, I saw a big, huge pile of bear poop. So I was like, okay, there's definitely bears. And then I look up and I see a bear looking dead at me on the trail up ahead on the trail, and then it turned around and it ran into the bushes. I just stood there for like, I just didn't know what to do. Like, do I turn around? Do I keep going forward? And then I'm like, I have to go forward. So I kept walking, and then I saw another one in the woods, not on the trail, and it took off and started running also. Just a little bit later, I saw 2 guys on the portage, and I was like, there are bears, and they were like, oh, okay. they were doing a single carry, so I'm not going to see them again. They were going in the direction of the bears, so hopefully the bears really got scared away. That's a campsite right there, which I would have taken, but with bears roaming about that I know of, I think I'll pass. But I have to now go back and get my canoe, so I'm gonna have to go that route again. So I finally got to the end of the portage, and of course there is a stiff headwind. Oh, there's no way I want to camp over here. Pray that I'm not actually windbound right now. There's no way I can paddle that, so I'm gonna have to go back to that campsite. So I'm back down at the portage. I'm just gonna eat some beef jerky and some snacks down here and leave my food barrel and everything down here, completely away from where I'm camping. So yeah, I guess I'm skipping a real dinner tonight because I thought about cooking down here, but I don't even want to smell like food. I don't want anything like that while I'm camping so close to where I saw those bears. I just cannot believe my luck that that would happen, and then I'm windbound at the same time. But you know, I guess it is what it is. It's not the first time someone has seen a bear in the backcountry, so everything will be fine, I'm sure. I just hope it's not so windy tomorrow so that I can get up and leave early. I've got a long ways to go tomorrow. Yeah.
On a positive note, the adrenaline made me forget to be tired on that portage.
And of course, the bear campsite is the most beautiful one yet. Well, I am about to go ahead and get inside the tent though. It's starting to get dark. So it's my last night here, and as long as the weather permits, I'll be able to leave in the morning. I am actually pretty excited to go home. Definitely have tested my limits on this trip for sure. And it's been literally such an amazing trip. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything else to happen. I mean, it's been a massive learning experience too. But now I am ready to get home, a shower, and some real, like, fresh food. I'm looking forward to that too. It is so windy tonight. Makes it hard to sleep. And then I put a light outside my tent just because the waterfall also drowns out noise, so it'd be hard to hear anything that comes up to my tent. So I'm hoping that having that light, I'd at least see a shadow or something would knock it over or something. Anyway, I'm probably thinking too much into this, but I need to try to go to sleep. I don't think I slept for a full hour last night, but finally it's starting to get a little bit light out, and I just wanted to get a little bit lighter, and I'm ready to head out. Close to the access, and I just can't continue because I just physically can't make it there. So the wind died down, and after 5 hours of sitting there, I finally made it back to the access, back to my car, and eventually back to Detroit. And I've been back for a couple of weeks now. That trip was pretty humbling. It isn't the first time that I've been humbled by a trip, but I don't know what happens in the weeks between trips where it's like I get
amnesia or something and forget how hard the last one was, and then go into the trip with a ridiculous amount of ambition, which is what happened on this trip. I went into it thinking I could do way more than I was actually able to do. But I mean, at the end of the day, I still completed a loop. I'd never done that before, and I learned a lot about myself and where I'm at. And to be honest, that's a big part of the reason for doing it. So, yeah, that humbling feeling has taken a little longer to wear off this time around. The length, the portages, and seeing bears for the first time. And by the end of it, I was honestly pretty excited to go home. But now I'm home and I'm excited for my next trip. So probably won't be able to do another week-long trip here anytime soon just because of life. But I still learned something even from the smaller ones. So I'm looking forward to that. But if you've made it to this point in the video, thank you again. I always appreciate you, and I look forward to sharing my next experience with you.